Hello, and thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Alex Dahl, and today we're going to be doing Workshop 3, which is for CSC 575. The topic today is Pokemon NP complete? We're going to be starting with an algorithm. This is the push and pull algorithm, which was created by a group of researchers. I think his name is Algoric and Domain. So what they did is they started with a base value set that is completely empty. The robot, in this case, will interact with their environment, and the variables that they pick up along the way will be deposited into the base value set, or BVS. The goal is to maintain feasibility for going along a standard path and give a vertex that is in the neighborhood of the optimal vertex. Using these variables, we can determine the optimal subset to move the robot through the environment in polynomial time. Push and pull is reduced from 3SAT. Of course, 3SAT is the idea that there exists values for which a Boolean expression gives an output of true. So really, we're trying to figure out which route will give us true. All right, so how do we apply this to Pokemon? We're doing a generalized Pokemon game that involves the player traversing from point A to point B. You'll see this later in the presentation, a little example of this. Now, if you've played Pokemon before, the goal is to defeat enemy trainers with your Pokemon and make their Pokemon faint. So in this specific example, Pokemon trainers are going to initiate a Pokemon battle when the player comes within their line of sight. Because when you're a Pokemon trainer, you cannot say no to a battle. Strategy then is going to depend on the player's ability to manipulate or color in 3SAT the map location to create the path of least resistance from point A to point B. So let's take a little bit look at our problem then. Given a group of enemy trainers in a location, is there a path that the player can take to get from point A to point B? So here we have Ghastly, and for the purposes of this example, the player is going to have a level 100 Ghastly that has all of its power points spent except for the move Self-Destruct, which it learned from a TM. Self-Destruct kills your player Pokemon, makes them faint, and also does massive damage to the enemy's Pokemon. So Ghastly can learn this from a TM, which is a technical machine. It's basically a way to teach your Pokemon new moves. So for the purposes of this example, Ghastly is going to know Self-Destruct. The two enemy trainer groups that we're going to encounter are both strong and weak. Let's take a look at what they have. Strong trainers are going to have 2 level 30 Snorlaxes. Because the player only knows Self-Destruct, the first Snorlax will go down, but then the player's Ghastly will also go down. This causes them to lose. In our example, they're going to be denoted by a blue line of sight. We do not want to see these guys. They are bad news because we are always going to lose. We cannot win. It is a statistical impossibility for us to defeat a strong trainer. Let's take a look at the weak trainer then. The weak trainer will have a level 100 Electrode, which will only know Self-Destruct. Because Ghastly is a Ghost-type Pokemon, and Self-Destruct is a normal move in the Generation 1 games Red, Blue, and Yellow, Ghastly will not be affected by Self-Destruct, and the enemy trainer will automatically lose. So, weak trainers will lose every time, and strong trainers will win every time. We need to set up a scenario where the player only faces weak trainers on their path from point A to point B. Weak trainers are going to be denoted by their red line of sight. This is good. We want to face the weak trainers, not the strong trainers. So here's our reduction. Enemy trainers are the push and pull algorithm, which we mentioned is reduced from 3-sat. Enemy trainers are going to stand still until the player comes into their line of sight. Then they're going to move to approach the player. The player can also approach them from the side or from behind, and they will stay at their location. If a wall or another trainer is blocking the trainer's line of sight, that trainer will not approach. So for example, if we have a weak trainer that is looking downwards and a blue trainer, strong trainer, is looking at the player, but the weak trainer is in the way, the strong trainer will not go around the weak trainer. They're just going to stay right where they are because they cannot, quote, see our player trainer. The player will want to strategically move weak trainers and block, avoid strong trainers. Because push and pull is NP hard, our problem is also NP hard. All right, so time complexity. The player is going to analyze each path. We're coming on to point A, we can go left or right. Where are we going to go? If I look to the right and a strong trainer is on that path, I'm going to analyze another route. If a weak trainer is on another route, I'm going to automatically take that route. The algorithm is always going to pull based on the path of least resistance. Program is going to end when point B is reached. This makes the complexity big O log n. Here's the proof of correctness. All push and pull problems are NP hard due to deciding whether a given target location is reachable from a given start location. Can I get to point B from point A with the paths that I'm given? Strong trainers, weak trainers. Can I get to point B without seeing a single strong trainer? Pokemon is NP complete then, because the player has to decide whether a given target location is even reachable when the only elements of the overworld are enemy trainers. Using a crossover gadget for generalized Pokemon, we can see how to get to any point B from a point A, and how the player can non-deterministically move through the overworld and complete their objective. So let's take a look at a crossover gadget. As you can see here, here's our crossover gadget. So I'm starting at point X, and if I go left, I can see that I can move that way because a weak trainer is blocking the strong trainer. I can move over here because if I try to go right, I cannot get through. So I'm going to go down here, and then I'm going to see where I can go. I can get all the way up here. I can get all the way over here to X1. I can get to Y1. I can move anywhere I want as long as I do not go this way towards this gentleman over here by X or within these guys, because they're all going to have 2 Pokemon and I only have my self-destruct move left. So that is the crossover gadget, because I can cross wherever I need to as long as I don't mess up, so to speak. Here's my works cited. It is Alupus. This is his program that I was using through classic Nintendo games are computationally hard. Very good read. It also talks about Super Mario Brothers, Metroid, those classic Nintendo games. And then I got some other material from here as well. I hope that you enjoyed my presentation, and I look forward to discussing this with you. Have a wonderful day and enjoy your night.